the heart of medieval Europe, nestled between green hills and dark forests, lay the village of Elderwood. The people of Elderwood lived simple lives. They farmed, tended animals, and gathered around the fire each night to share stories. Among them lived a boy named Thomas. He was 15, with curious eyes and a mind full of dreams. While other boys trained with swords or helped on the farms, Thomas would sit by the old storyteller, Granny May, listening to her tales of kings, dragons, and lost crowns. "One day, Thomas," she said with a wink, "you might just find a story of your own." Thomas smiled, though he didn't believe it. Nothing ever happened in Elderwood. Everything changed one rainy evening. A stranger arrived at the village. He wore a heavy cloak, his face hidden by a hood. The villagers, curious and cautious, watched him from behind doors and windows. He came to the tavern and sat quietly in the corner, drinking only water. Thomas, working at the tavern that night, brought him bread and stew. "Thank you," the stranger said. His voice was low but kind. "You're welcome," Thomas replied. "Are you a knight?" The man chuckled. "Not anymore. I once served a king, but those days are behind me." Thomas sat, unable to hide his excitement. "What happened to the king?" The man's eyes grew sad. "He was betrayed. His crown was stolen, and his kingdom fell to darkness." The next morning, Thomas found a small pouch left on the tavern table. Inside was a piece of old parchment, a map. At the bottom were words written in shaky ink. "For the one who still believes in light." He showed it to Granny May. Her hands trembled as she held the map. "This is no ordinary drawing. It leads to the crown of Eldoria, the last hope for the kingdom." Thomas knew what he had to do. He packed some food, his father's old dagger, and set off before the village could stop him. The journey began through the forest of whispers. Tall trees loomed above, their leaves whispering secrets in the wind. Thomas walked cautiously, guided by the map. He soon met a girl named Elira. She had been living in the woods, escaping from soldiers who had taken her village. "I know the forest," she said. "Let me help you." Together, they avoided traps, crossed rivers, and shared stories. A bond began to form between them. One night, Elira asked, "Why are you after the crown?" "Because someone must bring back hope," Thomas replied. Deep in the forest, they were caught by the Bandit King, a large man with scars and a wicked laugh. He tied them up and took their belongings. "You'll fetch a good price," he said. But Elira was clever. She tricked one of the guards, freeing herself and Thomas. They escaped in the night, stealing back the map. "You're braver than most knights," Thomas told her. "We're not done yet," she smiled. The map led them to an ancient stone keep, hidden beneath overgrown vines. It was quiet, too quiet. Inside, they found puzzles, traps, and strange markings. One room held a riddle carved in stone. "Only the pure of heart may claim the crown. Speak the truth, and light shall be your guide." Thomas and Elira solved the riddles together, each test revealing their courage, honesty, and friendship. Finally, they reached a small chamber. A candle burned there, untouched by time. Above it rested a simple golden crown. Thomas stepped forward. The candle flared. "You have chosen light," a voice echoed. "The crown is yours to protect." With the crown in hand, they traveled back, but the land had changed. The Dark Lord who took the kingdom now ruled the nearby towns with fear. Thomas and Elira avoided the roads, spreading word quietly. People began to whisper of the return of Eldoria's crown. When they reached Elderwood, the village welcomed them with awe. Granny May wept with joy. "You found your story, Thomas," she said. The crown gave Thomas more than power, it gave him responsibility. He met with the old knights, the wise men, and village leaders. They began to plan. People from nearby villages joined them. Farmers, blacksmiths, and even children who remembered the old songs of Eldoria. Together, they stood against the Dark Lord's army. It was not swords that won the battle, but courage, unity, and hope. After the battle, the land slowly healed. Crops grew again, laughter returned, and the skies seemed brighter. Thomas was offered a throne, but he refused. "I am just a boy from Elderwood," he said. "Let us all rule together." He gave the crown to the Council of Villages, ensuring no single ruler could ever become a tyrant again. Elira became the keeper of the crown, protector of its light. Years passed. Thomas and Elira grew old, their names sung in songs across the land. The candle still burned in the old keep, a sign that light never dies as long as someone believes in it.